Hey, what's up, YouTube? What's going on, guys? Today I wanted to do kind of a review and talk about my experience at the Galloping Ghost Arcade. So, this is like a mega vintage or retro arcade, over 550 games. It may be the largest arcade in the country. This is actually in Brookfield, Illinois, which is a southwest suburb of Chicago, probably about 20 minutes outside of Chicago. So, if you live in the Chicagoland area and you haven't been here to check this out, definitely worth taking a drive out there. And if you find yourself visiting Chicago, probably only about a 20-minute Uber ride to get here. So here's what's kind of unique and cool about this place is, first off, all the games are set on free play. It costs $20 to get in, and it's all you can play all day. During the week, Monday through Friday, they open up at 1 and close at 2 a.m. in the morning. And on Saturdays and Sundays, they open up at 11 and stay open till 2 a.m. in the morning. And as long as you keep your receipt, you can come back all day. So you can show up there at 11 o'clock on a Saturday or Sunday morning and stay and play video games until 2 a.m. If you want to leave and go get lunch, go get dinner, and come back, you can do that as well. Here's another kind of unique thing about this arcade is it's all vintage games for the most part. They maybe had a game or two that was released in the 2000s. I think there's one game that was released in 2011. But really, this is going to be mostly 80s and 90s games. They do have some like really, really old black and white games from, I'm guessing, maybe even the 60s. A lot of the titles here, they have like the only game that exists in the world, or like there's only 2 boards left. So a lot of really unique and rare games that you're not going to see other places. I went there last night, got there on a Saturday night, and we'll flip through some of these games and kind of show you some of them. There's a great tour. I think it's called like John's Arcade, the YouTube channel. But this guy's done 2 tours there, and the most recent one, he had the owner of this place, Doc, walk him through and give him kind of the history of all the games and where he got them from and how they built the cases. And one thing that's really, really impressive is, I guess I have no idea what it takes to run a business like this, but I guess I would just assume, well, you order a bunch of video games and throw them in a room, right? But they're actually like making the cases that have the games. They're like recreating the artwork for some of the games if they don't have the original. There was one like firefighter game where you hold a fire hose, and they were actually like 3D printing some of the missing parts. So these guys are really like, I would almost consider this a museum as much as it is an arcade. So we'll kind of flip through here. It's called Galloping Ghost. It's right on Ogden Avenue. So I went there Saturday night, probably about 6 o'clock, wound up staying till about 10 o'clock. Not overly crowded. I mean, it is a tight space. There's a lot of games crammed into a small area. But, not overly crowded. You could pretty much get on any game, even the more popular games, or what I would think would be the most popular games, like Pac-Man, Frogger, Ninja Turtles. They had the Simpsons game, Tapper, that game where you slide beers down to people. They had a lot of, like, sit-in driving games, Bad Dudes. This almost looks like Mancow. I don't think it's... Oh, it is Mancow. So you got Mancow. This is Jax, the guy from Mortal Kombat. Here's a video of one of their shooter games. They had a lot of different types of stuff. They had a lot of shooter games, a lot of sit-in games. This guy right here is the owner, Doc. Let's see here. Nothing too fancy. The guy says that they don't really have many rules, but they do have a strict no gum rule. And the owner says he doesn't want to replace the carpet. Not only would it be a nightmare having to get all these games out of here to do so, but he said he'd rather spend his money putting it into having special events and bringing special guests and getting more games. One other cool thing about this place, every Tuesday at 5 p.m., they roll out a new game. So every Tuesday there's a new game hitting the floor. Another kind of cool thing about this arcade, we'll see if we can see any pictures here, but pretty much either above or somewhere on all the games, they have these high scorecards. And I guess this is one of the arcades that I think a lot of Guinness Book of World Records, like different game records, have been set here. And above most of the games, they have a little placard or a little card that shows the high score. So we got Alien 3. They had a couple cool games like this. So you got Alien Storm and Michael Jackson. There's actually a little toggle switch on the game, and if you flip it up, it's Alien Storm. If you flip it down, it's Michael Jackson. I totally missed the pinball games. I didn't see if they had pinball last night. They got the original Pac-Man, as well as a bunch of other Pac-Mans. Ninja Turtles, I was playing this last night. That was always a fun game. Played Simpsons, Trivial's Rivals, Bubbles, Three Stooges. That's a really rare one. Oh, and up here you can see, here's kind of the placard with the high scores. Three Stooges, Sailor Moon, never even heard of that one. A lot of cool racing games and like helicopter games. Indiana Jones and a Temple of Doom. Let's see here. I think here's a lot of the guests and things that they've had at their arcade. Captain America and the Avengers. One thing last night, I'm not sure if it's always like this or if their air was out. I mean, obviously it was 80-something degrees yesterday. You got a lot of games in there and a lot of guys as well. But, you know, the main area was, like, fairly well air-conditioned. There were, like, 2 little side rooms that, man, you went into these side rooms and... Tapper, this is a fun game. You went into these side rooms and you were, like, dying. It was so hot in there. Terminator. What's this? A logo button. They sell buttons and patches and things like that. They don't sell food, but I think they do sell some drinks and snacks and stuff like that. It was so warm, I wound up leaving for a little bit, running down the street to the 7-Eleven, Baby Pac-Man, Holosseum. They have a couple cool hologram games that are really rare. But yeah, I wound up running down the street, grabbing some grabbing some gummy bears and a water, and coming back and playing for another couple hours. Nibbler, Defender, Creature from the Lagoon. Here's one of the high score cards here. Ghostbusters. But yeah, it seems like they swap the games out and kind of trade games with a lot of other arcades pretty frequently. But yeah, really, really cool place. You know, X-Men, I played a little bit of that last night. But yeah, I figure if they're not super packed on a Saturday night, I imagine it's pretty much always fairly easy to get in there and play some games. I played Golden Axe yesterday. Hadn't played that one in a while. Lucky and Wild. This was a fun game. One person drove and shot, and the second person shot. But this was kind of a police chase shooter game. There's kind of a cool sniper game here. Let's see here. 1941, that plane game. That was always one of my favorites. Burger Time. Space Harrier. Looks like this kid set a high score. Miss Pac-Man, Batman. Here's kind of an overview of kind of the whole place. Really, really big. A lot of like little offshoot rooms and stuff like that. Oh, off-road, man. I used to love... I wish they had this, or if they did have it, I missed it yesterday. But man, this used to be one of my favorite games on Nintendo. I can't believe I missed Off-Road. Let's see, X-Men. What's this? Looks like some kind of little like private gaming room. Space Invaders, Star Wars, Altered Beast. I remember that one. So it looks like here's where kind of they repair games and do some of their work. They may even make some of their own stuff. Got the green screens and everything. Let's see here. Sega Sonic, Ninja Turtles, Street Fighter. A lot of fighter games. A lot of what was that? Neo Geo games. Street Fighter, Turbo, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. They had all the Mortal Kombats. I played some Mortal Kombat last night. Donkey Kong, Popeye, Tempest, Miss Pac-Man, Galaga. Okay, so it looks like that's all the photos. But you guys get the point. This place is out in Brookfield, Illinois. Awesome spot. Great deal for $20. Stay there for a couple hours. Play all the video games you want. If you guys have any questions about this place, drop a comment down in the comment section below and let me know. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button below.